ゆりちゃんじゃない。あなたまた誘拐されたの？ムササビに失礼。
What's up, gamers and collectors? DGC back with another review, and today I'll be reviewing SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. Wow, that's a mouthful. SNK was a powerhouse in the 90s. They were the king of fighters after all. So when a new fighting game was announced by SNK, needless to say, I was exhilarated at the thought of a new SNK fighter. SNK Heroine Tag Team Frenzy is available for the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4. The footage you'll be seeing today is from the Nintendo Switch version. One caveat to that is that the PlayStation 4 physical version does not come in a standard edition. It only comes in the big box Diamond Edition. However, the Switch does come in a standard version as well as the Diamond Big Box Edition. Just figured I would mention that for any collectors out there. I was given the Switch version to review, which is a good thing because that means I can test out the portable mode and the console mode. If you're running a stock Joy-Con with no D-pad and like to play the Switch portably, right off the bat I can tell you this game's not going to be for you. This isn't necessarily SNK's fault, as it is more Nintendo's fault by not including a D-pad on the Joy-Con. However, I understand why they did it that way. A D-pad on there would just make fighting games that much better. Although I suppose if you really wanted to, you could bring a Pro Controller with you everywhere you went if you really wanted to play it in portable mode to have a D-pad. So the game itself is a very basic, bare-bones experience at the end of the day. There are only 14 characters to choose from, along with 7 stages to play on. The story is a meh at best, but you don't buy a fighter for the story. So being that it's a tag team game, there are many different options to play the story. Each story is self-aware and is programmed to know which 2 characters you've chosen. Throughout the many types of matches you play in the game, you will receive gold coins to use in the in-game shop to customize your heroines. With only 3 costumes to pick from, you can't really change much. Of course, you can add all sorts of cutesy anime attire to your lovely heroines. Let's discuss the graphics a little bit here. They're not the worst I've ever seen, but it is 2018, so for me, they could have at least improved the anti-aliasing and improved the textures a little bit, but I can see that this game was clearly developed on a very small budget. While I have enjoyed SNK Heroines to an extent, and it does remind me of fighters of old, now I know SNK doesn't really put out a ton of games anymore, but this game just isn't a $50 game. To me, it seems like this was a cash grab to fund a bigger project down the line for SNK. So with all that being said about the game, is it terrible? Well, no, kinda. The main drawback is the $50 price tag. This should have been a $30 game tops, and if they really think it's worth $50, there should have been more characters added, more unlocks for the characters, and more stages. Any of that would have been a welcome addition to the game. The mechanics are fun, but not deep. I wasn't able to try the online, however, I would assume that it works the way they intended it to, and it probably works decently enough. The game really leaves me wanting more, and it's just really not there for me. I was hyped for a new SNK game, and I really wanted it to be something special, but for the price, I just cannot recommend buying this game. I would highly wait for this to go down in price, or find it in a bargain bin.
You lose. Come here, you mother. This is it, baby.